Good afternoon from Bali, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I thought I would bring our attention to something that has been said in the Vedas for some length of time, and it's about the different ages. And it's interesting, I'm speaking about this because I also want to talk about political correctness. And we can see that in our lives these days, or you might be seeing, that we're much more politically correct in terms of we shouldn't say this way, this should be said in this particular way, this should be the proper action, and should. Now, it's interesting that when we do things, we can do things that are on the superficial level, that everything that anyone sees from us looks right. I mean, there's nothing really wrong in what this done or said there, but something leaves us with not such a great feeling. And these days, more of us are aware of something's just not right. And when we think about political correctness, kind of ironic term, because of course this is used in politics quite a bit, right? That we do see, and do you see this, that in politics a lot of promises are made. And we hear it and we think, I don't know if that's actually going to be followed through on, but that's what we're saying, and so, or that's what they're saying, a person is saying, and we hear it and we filter in our minds of, yeah, I really hope this is true, but I actually don't believe that will happen. And this is the political correctness of this sort of role in our lives that we see politics, and we've kind of become aware of even our mistrust of it. The only thing is that everything has become this way. This political correctness happens at that level, happens at the government level. We're looking out for you, but we're making a profit. We kind of know it's a half-truth. We're looking out for your okay, but we do want the hospitals that we're spending a lot of money on to be making money. So we know this, but we don't really talk about it. We talk about how wonderful it is that this new hospital has been created, this new health center, this new program, this new association, anything, and we think, oh, how wonderful, because we want to hear all the good that's in it. Although even at the back of our own minds we wonder, well, you know what, they actually didn't really create this. So education system, we can think the same thing. Now, all of this has a trickle-down effect, so it affects people at the top and it affects the average person. And I'm the average person, and I think actually if we look at it, we all are. We're all the average person, and we're going through this, and then we kind of okay this political correctness. And that means that even in our day-to-day communication, we do the same thing. Now, I want to bring it back into Vedic communication about this, because this is not an unusual experience that we're having. In the Vedas, and you know, Vedas have been written about 5,000 years ago, and then some say much longer than that too, but let's say 5,000 years ago. This information has been known to mankind for quite a bit of time, but only a few people really take it seriously, which means taking something seriously means that we're actually understanding and then applying to our own lives. So in the Vedas, it's believed that there's actually 4 different ages that we go through. So ages as an entire society, an entire world, this is our ages. So these ideas was there's a golden age, and you know, a lot of people think of the golden age and say, the good old days, right? No, that means within our own life we can see a time of a golden age. And I wanted to explain what this golden age represents, what is happening in a golden age. So in a golden age, which in terms of Sanskrit, it's also known as Satyug, and Yug or Yuj is known as Yoga. So this is union, and the union is with our divine natures. And our divine natures, each of us carries this, and Satyug is like the best union with that divine nature. So in this time, this is known as the first time that occurs in these ages, the cycle of ages, and it's described as the age of truth and righteousness, where people are predominantly virtuous and free from illness and sorrow. Predominantly virtuous and free from illness and sorrow. And this again has also been termed the golden age. And you know, a lot of times people can feel this, that, oh, when I was this old, I was like that, everything seems so easy, that was my golden age. And then we go into what's known as the silver age, and then there's a bronze age, and then there's the Iron Age. Now, Iron Age, so again, remember, I'm talking about this is happening on an individual level and it's happening on the collective too. So let's look at the collective of the Iron Age. So the Iron Age is known as Kali Yuga or Yuj. So this is an Iron Age. So you can imagine that even these sorts of colors or ideas would help us think of something that's a little bit more stubborn and fixed and really hard, right? Not easy. And so the characteristics of Kali Yuga, which by the way we're in right now, which is the Iron Age, it says that spiritual knowledge and wisdom deteriorate over the Kali Yuga. People become more uneducated and disinterested in spiritual pursuits, and their focus is drawn to materialism and worldly pleasures. Greed, dishonesty, and corruption characterize the Kali Yuga society. Greed, dishonesty, and corruption. Now, how many of us notice some of this in our society these days? It's certainly something that I talk about in some of my videos. And these videos are to open your mind to thinking about what is happening and what is our individual contribution, because each of us contributes to the collective experience of us all. But we can start within ourselves and then have that spread. And so I thought today I would talk about the fact that there's so much truth and virtue in Satyug, and there's so much dishonesty or greed and corruption in Kali Yuga, which again, Golden Age to Iron Age. When we see that difference, we know also that at Kali Yuga, or I'll let you know, we're just on the cusp of another Golden Age. Just so you know, we are moving from an Iron Age to a Golden Age. And it does benefit from each person who is working within themselves to create this new energy. This new energy is ripe for the picking, so to speak, but it's a mindful attention to what we're doing. So one of the things that I wanted to focus on in this video is the fact that truth is one of the most inherent, important, meaningful areas that we can focus on. And this is something that we can see in this Iron Age we don't see so much. We see, in terms of politically correct, half-truths are more common. So yeah, people can say that, well, he didn't really say that he would clean up this water. He didn't really actually say that this problem will be solved, or he didn't actually say that the emissions, the carbon emissions, will actually be possible to meet at this time. It's or going to be met. We'll say, we hear it's possible. It's possible. We're going to try. And there's a lot of try. There's not that we will do this. So, and that's a half truth, right? Because if I say that I'll try, I can try 10% or I can try 95%. I can not try at all and just do it. And so that's the difference between truth and half truth. And right now, in this Kali Yuga or Kali Yuga, this time is a darkness time. This time is where even when people are saying half truths, they kind of believe, well, it's true. I mean, I can't really do this, but the intention is not there. And that's the key. It's the intention behind the work, that I am going to put my full effort into trying to help this work, into making this work. I'm putting my full effort into making this work. And you can see that even this mind, this form, has to correct itself in its thinking, because again, so much of our training is being that politically correct. If I say try, it just seems I truly, honestly will. And if I say I will make a difference in how I think about this. This is my intention. I hope it is you too. So this first quotation I wanted to start with about truth in this Kali Yuga time, to compare it to Golden Age time. So again, Iron Age to Golden Age. Truth does not mind being questioned. A lie does not like being challenged. Truth does not mind being questioned. A lie does not like being challenged. Now, questioned, don't we find that people can have a political situation? Politics is happening here too. There's a new election happening soon. And, people can ask questions, and it's a question. But if the person perceives it as a challenge, are you challenging me? I'm saying that I'm going to do this. Are you challenging me? And we're all seeing that whatever is being said from someone in this position is a half-truth. Can they really achieve this? Do I really believe that? I don't believe they can. And so when they say that this is what I'm going to do, and I ask, are you really going to do that? Oh, that gets backs up and gets reactions. And this is that space of Kalyug, that's Iron Age, of very fixed, of I said I was going to do it, so how dare you question me, as opposed to I understand why you're questioning, because there's been enough mannerisms of other politicians around me that have shown that they have not followed through on things. That's an understanding space. Each of us can do this too. And you'll see that you can ask someone that's close to you, you can ask a family member, you can ask a friend something about, why are you doing this? And it could be your tone, could be. But how it's received is also how a person is responding in this time. So you could truly be asking a question from the kindness of your heart of, why is this happening? Are you okay? Is everything okay? And the person's like, yeah, I'm fine. I know I'm fine. You know I'm fine. What are you worried about me for? That reaction, that aggression, that space is a Kalyug space. The I am fine, I'm okay, thanks for being concerned is a Satyug space. Where are you working from? Finally, not even finally, there's another quotation that I found which was quite useful in terms of when we're thinking about the information overload that we've all got. And we know that on our internet, we can see that there's some truths and some half-truths, or I'll say many half-truths and some pure truths. We can say that a lot of half-truths are out there. And so then we have the truth police almost. So whether we look on Facebook, we look on Google, we are noticing that there's people fact-checking. Is this true? Is this true? And it needs to happen, because even the robotic implementation that we're utilizing now in terms of bots doing our work, yeah, they can actually materialize something that's a not truth. It's actually a bot finding lots of information and creating or fabricating an untruth or a half-truth. And it's taking a human mind to look through and filter, as we might have done it before, to find truth. And this is interesting because we're so used to this that we actually, something will come up on our screens and we'll actually question, is that true? I'm not sure if that's true or not. You might be getting messages on WhatsApp and they look very true. And then you read it and you think, I don't know if that's true or not. And you try to look at the research of, is this true? And then you'll find these people who are doing this work of seeing what is a half-truth in these sorts of media. You will find that people are looking at it and seeing what is truth, what's not truth. Now, is that person even being truthful or not truthful? Because that's like research, isn't it? This is proving one side, this is proving the other side. This is proving the side of the truth that one wants to see, and this is proving the side of the truth that another wants to see. So there's a lot more, less easy, less straightforward, and really truth is very straightforward. So this quotation I thought was very fitting for these times that we're in. It says, misinformation is a virus unto itself. Misinformation is a virus unto itself. So interesting. Again, we can look at the internet and see that misinformation is happening, and it is a virus because it gets all sorts of people worked up and riled up and sharing with each other the same information, which might be misinformation. That's a virus, and we share that virus. And remember, we can understand a physical virus. We all understood COVID, and it takes over. And misinformation takes over too. So let's say someone tells you something in their belief of what is truth, and you feel and you take it as complete truth because you think of that person as truthful, but they only knew a half-truth. And then you share this information with someone else. Misinformation is a virus. Do not share anything unless you have experienced it, you feel it, and make sure that you say, from my perspective, I believe this is truth, right? That's all. That's all you can say. You can't say this is truth. You can say from this mind's perspective, and that is truth in itself. Finally, I would say something like this because, no, I wouldn't say something like this. This is very true to my heart because you know that I still really love writing poetry. And I will put a poem that I have written recently just under this video. And you'll see that from what I talk about in these videos, it's actually combining a lot of different ideas together in the poetry that came from me. Again, it is only when I'm inspired to write that I actually write poetry. And so it's been a while since a meaningful poem has emerged from this mind and these hands to type it out. So I'd love for you to look at it, and it's just for your own reflection too. And on that note, I wanted to make sure I shared this quotation. Poetry is a political act because it involves telling the truth. I love that. It does. Truth. Truth seems so simple, but it's so meaningful, and it's so not easy to express, to share, to walk the line of truth. And today, I am proud to be doing so. I hope that you are too. I hope that you share truth. I hope that you feel truth. I hope that you know that even these emotions that arise from thinking about truth, it's a beautiful space of emotional connection with the universe. And when we're in alignment, there's nothing that feels better than speaking our truth. Speak your truth, be loving, be kind, come back to the golden age. I wish you a fantastic day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.